What's up, gamers? Episode 14 of 4GO has finally landed, and I am Glenn. I am here with Ben, because our names rhyme. How are you, Ben?
I'm not too bad, thank you. A lot better than a couple of weeks ago, that's for certain.
You were sick. This man was sick, and at like 3 a.m. for him, he was here podcasting with us. So... I don't know.
It was definitely an experience.
It was an experience. That's what it was. It was an experience. So welcome back, Ben. Been playing anything interesting lately?
Just getting stuff ready on Final Fantasy 14 because the expansion pack at the end of the month. Apart from that, not really.
Final Fantasy 14. Oh my goodness. Oh, we should talk a bit about Final Fantasy too. But I'm getting distracted. Also, ladies and gentlemen, special treat for you. We have a new voice on the show. Pedro is no longer the rookie, so to speak. I'm proud to introduce to you QueenQ, who is joining us. How are you?
I am awesome. I'm super, super excited to talk about some video games.
Me too. Also, for those of you who are scratching your heads right now, QueenQ is actually a female.
Yes!
Which is definitely unusual for many gamers, so we will we'll take that as it comes. How have you been? What have you been playing lately?
Oh God, good question. I have been busy so much with bookings and stuff. I for those of you who don't know, I'm a full-time model and performer. So I've only had time to play indie games. So one of the games I'm playing right now is The Walking Dead. I'm almost done with the first season of Walking Dead, and that has been quite enjoyable. A round of applause to Telltale Games. Those are phenomenal.
Okay, let me be honest with you.
Okay.
I hate zombies. It's not that I just hate the concept of zombies. It's just that I see it everywhere, and I'm just tired. Like, I've heard a lot of good things about The Walking Dead. It just feels like another zombie thing to me. Like, how good is it, really?
Well, okay, so I'm sort of, and I say sort of a fan of the show because I stopped halfway through season 2. I could not get through the farm. I had to stop there. But as far as the game goes and the overall concept of The Walking Dead, it's really, it stands out a little bit because it dares to ask the question, okay, zombie outbreak, now what?
Okay.
So I don't think you ever really get to see much of the initial outbreak so much as people just trying to piece together themselves and whatever they can afterwards. So it's very depressing. The Walking Dead game is highly depressing to play. It's really sad, but it's really fun.
So, have you ever played The Last of Us?
Not yet. That's on my list of games to play when my PlayStation 4 comes in this summer, actually.
Yeah, just rub it in. Just rub it in. That's okay.
Oh, by the way, when you get your PS4, if you like Walking Dead, I do recommend Life is Strange.
Yeah, that's one that was talked about for a while, and then it got swept under the rug. What happened there?
It was on episode 3 now, so...
Oh, okay. Maybe people just aren't talking about it.
I love it. It's an amazing game.
Okay.
Someone mentioned that to me. Is that another zombie game?
No, it's in a high school. You play a high school girl, and you got special powers that can rewind time and stuff. I don't want to say too much because it's a whole story-driven game, but...
Okay. So...
Probably one of my games of the year, actually.
So you're a high school what? Okay, never mind. Is it like a Japanese game?
It's Square Enix, but it's by the people that make Remember Me.
Okay.
Don't Nod Entertainment.
I was just wondering because I know in Japan absolutely everything happens in high school. So
yeah, you know why that is, right?
What's that?
Oh, why they do a lot of stuff that takes place in high school, because to the Japanese and Japanese culture, high school is the most free time of your life. After that, you just kind of become a salary slave. So they treasure that time.
You know, that's kind of accurate.
I read a report on it somewhere. It was interesting.
Yeah, because the last time when I got to college, that was, oh, hi, Bills, how are you? So
yeah.
I kind of agree with that. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually thinking of going to Japan and spending a year up there teaching English. So,
ooh, you'll love it.
Oh, I hope so. I've always wanted to go to Japan.
There used to be, I can't remember his name, but there's this black guy, and he went to Japan to teach English, and he used to share the stories online, and they were hilarious. I cannot remember his name, but he would always talk about how the kids would try to say very lewd things to him in English.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, just, I don't think they'd ever really seen an African American male, I'm sorry, before. So they had a lot of strange curiosities.
So it's like, oh, hey, here's a random stranger who looks different. Let's ask him personal questions. Like,
and
really?
Try to grab his junk.
Oh, then. Oh, okay then. So it escalated that quickly. Okay then.
It did.
Hey guys, we've got a lot to discuss this week.
Wait, you sure they won in England?
Oh goodness! I'm sure it was Japan. I'm sure.
This man just cut me off. Never mind. Never mind. All right. We have a lot of stuff to discuss this week, but before we do that, we have a couple of tweets, and when we say a couple, we mean exactly two. Oh. So, at SNova34Z, aka the Fonz, he says, if someone asks you if someone says they've never had a console and don't know what to choose between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, what do you say? I say watch E3.
I have this battle every time a new generation of consoles come out, and my best advice has always been, what do you want to play? Whatever system or console has the most number of games that you're interested in playing right now and future games, tally that up. That's your system.
My advice is don't read the comments. That is my advice, because people are full of so much bull, it's not funny. And, to be honest, I kind of agree with both of them. I agree, watch E3. And I definitely agree with check out what games are on the system. So, wait, but before I go any further, Ben, what about you, man?
Also, your friends. There's no point buying these systems nowadays, really, if you're on your own, because a lot of the games are multiplayer. So see what consoles your friends are purchasing as well, and see if they're playing games that you would want to play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's the only thing that got me through the Gears of War series, was being able to, knowing that I could log in with my friends and they could join me and play through the, not just the multiplayer, but the chapters, just the actual storyline of the game, having my friends join in. That was awesome. And that helped me make my decision to buy like Gears of War 3 in the end and buy like a PlayStation 3 in the long run. So
to be honest, I've been with PlayStation. I've said this on the podcast before, but I've been with PlayStation for a long time because I kind of grew up with PlayStation. And Xbox, I mean, it doesn't feel like it, but relatively speaking, Xbox is sort of new. PlayStation and Nintendo, they go way, way back, but Xbox is relatively new. And so I was already kind of with PlayStation, and I'm sitting here and I'm seeing all this fuss about, Xbox versus PlayStation, and Sega does what Nintendo don't, and all of this stuff. And it's like, to be honest, I never really had anything against Xbox. I've always said PlayStation was my favorite, particularly because of the game library. PlayStation has always been really strong as far as exclusive games goes. However, in this current generation, I feel like that's kind of leveled out. Xbox has a lot of great exclusives, if I can speak, as well. I'm just tripping over my own tongue, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. So I would say definitely check out. Actually, in a way, I think that makes it harder to just see which games you want to play, especially since a lot of games are now multiple platform games. There are very few, like you look at a Sunset Overdrive maybe on Xbox, you look at an Uncharted maybe on PS4, and I mean, those can kind of put you one way or another, but the thing is, those are both really great games. And so for me, from my point of view, if you want the best experience, if you want the most out of your games, go for all three. I mean, I know that is super expensive, and I know you probably won't want to buy all three at once. So, which one first? Fine. But for me, it's like, don't limit yourself and don't just stick to one brand, because that is a whole world of gaming that nobody but you is excluding yourself from. So don't block yourself off from those other opportunities, because you're missing out on a lot.
Or, I mean, in the long run, if you don't mind waiting, so buy one system, like I'm getting my PlayStation 4 and I'm upset that I won't be able to play Sunset Overdrive, which is an Xbox exclusive. But who's to say that a year or two from now, I won't be able to buy, say, a used Xbox One and then catch up?
Sunset Overdrive is a fun game. I think Pedro just got it. So I think what we need to do is we need to just get together and play Sunset Overdrive.
I want to play that game so badly. Ever since I saw it at E3, was it the year that Xbox really fucked up? Excuse my language.
Yeah, no, that was 2013. They announced that as an exclusive. I bought the bundle, the white Xbox One with the Sunset Overdrive bundle thing.
Yeah. How was that game? Have you gotten to play it?
Sunset?
Yeah.
That game is freaking hilarious.
I thought it would be fun.
Does not. It's an open world game that just does not take itself seriously. Like you'll be there and he will constantly make references to the fact that it's a game. Like someone will be like, "Oh no, we're gonna die," and he's like, "Well, you're gonna die. I'm just gonna respawn right over there." Like it just does not take itself seriously, and I think you will love that. We need to just all get together and play Sunset Overdrive. That's a fantastic game. Another one, since you like indies. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Oh, the trailers for that are beautiful.
It is an absolutely gorgeous game. It has these emotional kind of gut punches, but that really makes you engrossed into the game. It makes you feel the game. I know that sounds kind of weird, but the thing is, you don't have to wait to get an Xbox for that. It's actually available on Steam right now for $20.
Is that going to, and that is another point that I sidetracked away from, is it going to be cross-platform? Because sometimes they start off saying that it's going to be exclusive to whatever, and then a year or two later, they're developing it for, its competition. That's what happened with Mass Effect with me. Like, I would have loved to have played Mass Effect on PlayStation this whole way through, but Mass Effect started off as an Xbox exclusive.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the deal was for Microsoft. I don't know what they signed for. But I know that timed exclusivity is kind of a thing right now. I think the whole idea of exclusivity is starting to phase itself out, because the truth is that these developers make much more money by not being exclusive to one console. They tick off fewer people, they get more people playing their game. And, a lot of people whine, "Oh, how dare you betray Xbox by going to PlayStation, wah!" And I need to save that voice. I don't know. I'm going to do that again at some point. But to be honest, there's no reason for them to have some kind of brand loyalty to their developer. So their goal as a developer is to get the game out into people's hands and onto people's systems and to get money from those people into their wallets. So being on multiple platforms, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, I was a little sad at first because originally when it came out for PlayStation, it started with Mass Effect 2, and then there was a little thing that you could play to make all the important decisions that affected the plot for 1, and then you could just ease right into 2 for the PlayStation 3. And I was a little, how do I say, when it comes to Xbox hardware versus PlayStation hardware, PlayStation has always had that sexy edge. For some reason, they've always had a slight leg up, on Xbox systems. And that's what I really wanted to see. And to me, it'll be worth replaying it when I get my PlayStation 4. It'll be worth replaying Mass Effect 1 through 3 just to see what it looks like on PlayStation.
Absolutely. And they have not announced a collection, but we all know it's coming. So.
Yeah.
By the way, about the rights, the reason why it took so long, basically Microsoft published the original Mass Effect on Xbox. That's why it was exclusive.
Yes.
But EA published it on PC. So when BioWare was purchased by EA, they also purchased the rights for the Mass Effect license. That's why everything's published by EA now instead of Microsoft.
Okay.
And then when Microsoft's contract ended for the publishing rights of Mass Effect 1, because EA already purchased it before because they'd published the first one on PC, they automatically got the rights back so they could publish it on other consoles.
Okay.
That makes sense. I remember that.
There is one tweet here that I just have to read.
Okay.
I just have to. It's from @KnowItMan. And it says, Sega does what Nintendo don't because Nintendo don't drop out of the console business. #drop the mic.
Okay, you might have to read that again for me.
I actually did a drop the mic kind of motion with my hand, and I knocked my headphones out of my microphone, so I couldn't hear anything for a moment. So I'm a complete dork, and that's okay.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's what makes life interesting. So guys, if you want to tweet us, join the fun. It is fun to tweet us. At least that's what we want you to think. So, send us some tweets at 4G only, at number 4GONLY. I know that makes us sound like a cell phone company, but no, we are not. We are 4Gamers only. So, send us those tweets. We'll read those on the show next week. And next week is going to be a special show because next week is E3 weekend! Woo! And, QueenQ and I, we're going to the E3 experience. I think Pedro's coming. I helped him get the tickets. What am I talking about? Pedro's coming too. Ben is not going to watch it at home because
I'm going to watch it at home.
It's going to be like 2 a.m.
Yeah. I think said I'm not going to watch it at home.
You're not going to watch it at home.
I'm going to watch it at home.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm going to be sat here watching it at home. You just said Ben's not going to be watching it at home.
No, I said Ben is going to be watching it at home.
Oh, okay. I am going to be watching it. I will not miss this.
Do not
even
miss
if
it.
Even if it is 2:30 a.m. in the morning.
Do not miss it. Let's move forward, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
QueenQ.
Yes.
You told me about this experience. I don't know whether to call it a game. So I'm just going to call it an experience for now, called Ingress.
Oh, yes. The alternate reality game for, basically whatever portable device you have, whether that be a Droid or iPhone or a tablet. Yes, that people are playing Ingress. My experience with alternate reality games, I'm a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, and in 2006 or 2007, Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails created an alternate reality game for his fans to play that was solely online, and you would hack different websites and you had to work together to do it. And that's the whole experience of alternate reality games, is doing them together. So Ingress is a game where everyone who plays is split into 2 factions, and it's a capture the flag type of game that's played real time with whatever city or state you happen to be in. And they use popular historical landmarks and major landmarks in your local city as, how should I say, bases, I guess. The report read to me that way. And you go out there, you physically get in your car, bus, plane, or train, you and a group, you play agents, and you go out there and you capture the areas and you fight each other.
Wait, so, well, when you say fight each other, I want to know what that means. Like, do you really want us to Mortal Kombat this thing, or do you want to, like, what do you mean fight each other?
Well, from what I read in the reports, apparently, because I haven't gotten to play it yet, so this is fascinating to me. So apparently you can collect weapons and stuff going out and doing missions, and I guess you use them to spar and fight each other in the opposite factions.
That is cool.
Yeah, so like an RPG.
Have you heard of this, Ben?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
What was it called again?
Ingress. Ingress. But that's really, I mean, there are things like, I think you mentioned it's sort of like geocaching.
Yes, it is like similar in essence to geocaching, and it uses your GPS in your device to track where you are. So you can't cheat. I can't say like I'm in Berlin doing this or that.
Right. You actually have to be there.
Yeah, you have to get off your butt. I have a tendency to be biased towards any type of quote unquote motion gaming.
Sure.
I don't think this qualifies, I suppose, as motion gaming, but
it's like motion. I mean, it's motion gaming. You have to experience traffic, I suppose.
Yes. You got to get on buses, planes, and trains to play it. And people team up with other people in their city, on their block. And no joke, this is a thing they're going out and doing together. And that, to me, is the beauty of it. Is this, I hate to sound like one of those E3 presenters, is this the future of gaming? You know, they always use that.
Well, I think it's not the future of gaming yet. because, quite frankly, there's one thing you said that kind of is a deal breaker for many people, and that is it requires them to get off their butts.
Yeah.
That said, it's something that has a real shot at making waves in this industry, because we don't see very many games that require this much involvement. And if you're this involved in the game, that's part of, I mean, you're spending money on gas. You're getting up and you're spending your time and going somewhere and meeting new people. There's a community behind it. Those who actually get into it, I think, could really love this game. And I just have to keep an eye on it. I really want to keep an eye on it and see what the implications for the future really are, because this is something that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the company that developed it is already talking about developing more games like it. So not a sequel to Ingress, but more games that operate in a similar fashion. So I'm interested to see, because Ingress has blown up. It's got millions of players right now. I'm interested to see if they can develop something that will really hit, like something that will really get us saying, hey, did you happen to play whatever last night? Or what are you doing Friday? You want to go out and do some missions, you know?
Right, like kind of like an MMO.
Yeah, like a real life MMO. And I think that would be fun. I don't like to sit for too long. Maybe getting up and seeing parts of my city that I've never seen before is...
It's like a real life Amazing Race, or a virtual Amazing Race. I mean, I could definitely see, what's the picture in my head right now is like a picture of my city, Orlando. But kind of overlaid on that is kind of the things that you might find in a general RPG. Like, you know, you have an inn where you can sleep and recharge your health or something like that. And you have a place where you can go, and you go there and I guess you scan a QR code maybe or something. And that gives you a new weapon that you buy with currency from the gamers. Like, I'm picturing kind of like an RPG world superimposed upon the real world. Like, it basically, the technology, or for lack of a better term, the idea, the concept behind it, it's something that can definitely be expanded upon.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to getting up and getting some sunshine.
No. Although I think I have enough of a tan. That said. But
and I live in England, so
you live in England. You're white as hell.
Oh, there's sunshine. I make ghosts look like they're tanned.
My goodness.
That's skill, dude.
Skill.
Are you going to Eurogamer again this year, Ben?
Yeah, I'll be going to Eurogame again this year. I've got my press pass, got my hotel, paying a lot of money for my hotel, going to the Hilton, the spa.
Ooh.
Oh, poor you.
Let's say four and a half stars. So I thought, I'll treat myself this year. I keep going to really cheap hotels every year, and I thought, you know what, this year, my fifth year going, I shall treat myself.
Treat yourself. That's how you do it. Speaking of collections, which we actually spoke about like half an hour ago, so I don't know how this segue is going to work, but here it is for you. Uncharted 4 specifically is basically making waves for the PlayStation universe. And, well, we were all wondering, when do we get a Uncharted collection for the PS4? It looks like that has finally been announced. Actually, more than just announced, it's up for pre-order. You can pre-order the download or the disc of the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. PlayStation folks are definitely thrilled about this because Uncharted is one of the most influential, one of the best games on the PlayStation franchise. I don't know about that for 2015 for this 8th generation for the PS4. I don't know what new franchises are going to come out over the next few years, because Uncharted, quite frankly, didn't go back to like the beginning of PlayStation 3, I should say, where we are in PlayStation 4. So some new franchise could easily come and kick Uncharted off its throne, but as that has not happened yet, Uncharted the Nathan Drake collection is just what we needed, a great refresher to one of the better games on the PlayStation franchise. If you haven't played Uncharted, you're missing out. And a lot of people, I think, who have a PlayStation 4 kind of moved over from Xbox, and I think vice versa. But, and so they might not have had a chance to play it. Uncharted is definitely a franchise that you want to experience. So get those pre-order funds ready because you're going to need them for this one. The disc and download are completely available. I don't know about any specific details, if it's like, oh, it's 4000p and it's awesomely 500 terabytes on a disc. You need 5 discs to play this game. I don't know anything about this, but I do know that you get a pre-order bonus. You get the Nathan Drake patch, which includes a Drake's Fortune Drake skin for the original Uncharted. For 2 Among Thieves, you get the Among Thieves Drake skin. And surprise, for 3 Drake's Deception, you get the Drake's Deception Drake skin. So, not too complicated there. You also get a couple more skins, Wetsuit Drake and Nepal Drake, and you get 2 weapons, the Golden AK-47 and the Golden 92FS.
Ooh, it's a whole Drake dress-up.
It's a whole Drake dress-up. You get all the Drakes. You get Wetsuit Drake. I'm sure some people are into Wetsuit Drake for some... So,
It just sounds funny.
I'm sure, yes.
To be honest, my favourite's got to be Donut Drake.
What? Donut Drake? What? Donut Drake?
You've never seen Donut Drake?
No.
It's the really fat version of Drake.
Oh, goodness.
It's hilarious because they actually make him get out of breath when he's climbing things and everything.
They should make like a Drake Simpson and cross him over with Homer.
Oh, man. So I take it when my PS4 comes out, this is one that I have to get. Because I've been a 360 girl since 360 came out.
Absolutely.
And I haven't touched this.
You haven't touched Uncharted, you're missing out. You've got to play.
Sorry, carry on, Glenn.
No, go for it, Ben.
I could say, imagine Gears of War style sort of third-person shooter gameplay, but with the actual platforming and stuff like that, Tomb Raider.
I liked Gears of War because it was just funny to me.
It's like a cross between James Bond, Tomb Raider, and Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So I got to put that on my list.
Yes. The first one, Uncharted Drake's Fortune, that one's a little slower. 2 is incredible, and 3 even more so. And we're all looking forward to 4. By the way, if you pre-order this, you also get multiplayer beta access to Uncharted 4, A Thief's End.
Ooh.
I'd like to add one thing. The multiplayer from the 3rd and 2nd game have been removed for the collection.
Oh, good. Oh. Because quite frankly, those felt really tacked on. It's like, oh, we've made this game, let's stick a multiplayer on it so people keep playing.
So yeah, they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We forgive you, Naughty Dog.
I'll live. I play for the plot most of the time anyway.
Thank you.
And these all got good plots, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you tell me a good story, that's the way to keep me interested in a game. I'll get hooked. I'm such a girl when it comes to that. Like, as long as the story's good, I'll keep playing.
I love a good story. And in that case, I think another franchise you want to check out is Infamous. I started playing the first one when it came out. Oh.
That's the one with the guy. He's got like electrical powers.
Yes.
And you make moral decisions.
Yes, absolutely.
I got pissed because I accidentally touched the controller at one point and it accidentally made the decision for me. And then I guess my girlfriend broke up with me or something stupid. And I was mad. So I put the game down. I was like, I'm pissed.
Dang it. That's what you get, Cole. No, that franchise is another one of the really great ones. Infamous Second Son is already released on the PlayStation 4. Actually, I got to review that game for PlayStation Universe when I wrote for them.
Ooh.
And I absolutely love that game. It's about 12 hours long, maybe. And it's a fantastic game with really fantastic characters. Sucker Punch really did a good... So, Infamous and Uncharted, those are my 2 recommendations for you. And for anyone who's just new to PlayStation 4 or 3.
Do you feel like 10 to 12 hours is short?
I think it depends on the game. Mm-hmm. If you're talking like a big RPG thing, no, I don't. I think that's too short. But for an open world thing that's story heavy, that has kind of really action based gameplay, I think it's reasonable.
Okay.
I think it's reasonable. It can also always benefit by being a little longer, but 10 to 12 hours, it's digestible. It's really replayable because the thing about it is, especially with a game like Infamous, where moral decisions are kind of heavy on you, You can play one way, and then you can go back and play again and play completely differently. So it might be about 10 to 12 hours for the story, but you have a lot of replay value in that.
Okay, that's what I like to hear, replay value.
And not only that, but Sucker Punch made infamous First Light, which took one of the characters, and it wasn't DLC, it was a standalone game, a short one. It took one of the characters from Second Son and expanded upon that character's story, and I loved that Sucker Punch did that.
Rock on.
Absolutely loved that they did that. Gamers, E3 is coming around the corner here. You're going to want to tune in. Why can't I speak today? What is wrong with me? You're going to want to tune in next week to 4GO because we're going to do our predictions for E3.
Ooh.
And we're going to actually watch E3, not on the podcast, but on our own. And then we're going to do reactions to E3. And we all love E3 reactions because you never know what you're going to get. So, E3 weekend is next weekend, and you're going to want to tune into 4GO for that. Share us with your friends. Send us tweets. We love tweets. And we will definitely rock the house next week. And I think QueenQ will be there, right?
Yeah,
Awesome.
My schedule is wide open, so yeah, we can do that.
What about Ben?
I will be here.
You've been quiet.
I have been quiet.
Why are you always so quiet?
Because British. I don't know.
Because British.
I like to wait until there's a sentence, stop to talk. But
okay.
Oh, we're so American.
Yeah, right. Gamers, if you're looking for an Xbox One, now is a fantastic time to get one. I mentioned this last week on the podcast. The white Xbox One is back, no longer bundled with Sunset Overdrive, but now bundled with Halo's Master Chief Collection for $350. I don't know how much it is in the UK, but do you know, Ben?
What bundle was that? I'll have a look.
The Master Chief Collection, the white Xbox One. It's the same price as how much is a normal Xbox One?
I'll have to look. I'm going now. I must admit though, I'll bring this up about PS4 afterwards. There was an amazing deal. I don't know if I brought it up a couple of weeks ago.
I'm not sure.
It was an insane deal. But anyway, Xbox One, Witcher 3, £350 roughly.
Okay, so
Oh, here we go. 309 for that one, but it's not white, it's black.
Okay, well, £350 for the white one, I think, yes?
I don't think we've got any white ones still.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. But $350 for that bundle. Now, the Xbox One 1 terabyte hard drive and with the controller. Do you remember a while back there was an Advanced Warfare bundle? I had the opportunity to get that, but I chose not to because I freaking hated it. I think it's ugly as balls. However, according to Canadian Online, it is back on Amazon, the 1 terabyte hard drive, which is useful because Xbox One has the bad habit of installing everything. You know, you download a game and installs 50 gigabytes of data. You buy a disc, it still installs 50 gigabytes of data. So,
the PS4 does the same thing as well.
Not in my experience.
Yeah, it does. It installs the whole game from the disc.
On what my PS, as far as I saw, maybe I should look again. I have not noticed my PS4 do that.
Yeah, it does it. It does it really fast.
Which is significant. Which is significant because I have a bunch of games for my PS4, more than I have on my Xbox One. My Xbox One's almost full.
Well, there's some games that only take like 30, 40 gig instead of 50.
Okay.
But yeah,
well,
they
yes,
do.
But I mean, still, that's something that I had not seen happen on my PlayStation. I'll have to check again.
Yeah, it unlike the Xbox One where it seems to take a lot longer, PS4 it takes about 20, 30 seconds to actually install.
Xbox One will take about 5 years to install a 2-hour game.
Yeah.
I mean, why? Why? But that's what's going on.
Because the PS4 installs the core files, so it'll boot up, and then while you're actually playing it will install the rest.
Well, I mean, the Xbox does the same thing for most games. It'll put its little annoying message up, and it'll be like, doo-doo-doo, and, you can play now, even though I'm not done yet. But still, it takes forever. Even to get to that point sometimes, it just takes forever.
British internet for the win. 75 meg. Just instant.
Google Fiber comes soon. Come
Please.
soon,
No,
Google Fiber.
come to England first. We want even faster.
Okay.
Okay, am I starting off?
Is what?
Am I the one? Is it me starting off, or are you saying anything?
It is. I don't mind.
Okay, well,
I'm not editing that out, by the way, just so you know.
okay. There was a glitch with Amazon a couple of weeks ago. Sorry for everyone that would have wanted the deal in the UK anyway. Basically, they had a deal on where if you put stuff in your checkout into your basket, they would add a discount for everything you put in your I don't know what the discount was for, but it was a massive discount. It was only supposed to be for certain items on the website, but for some reason, a lot of items were added discount that weren't supposed to have it. For one thing, you could add PS4 with The Witcher 3, Project Cars, and The Last of Us, or you could replace The Last of Us with The Order, and you could also get 3 months of PS Now. This would normally be about £400, which would be about $500. And you had a choice between black or white PS4s as well. All this was £260, which would be about $300.
Why do I always miss the good stuff? Like, when these glitches come out, where am I when these things happen? Like, why
you
am
have a life.
I have a well, I'd like to think that. That would be nice.
But still, and plus the glitch was for about 30 minutes. So, yeah. But yeah, so if you were lucky, you pretty much got the PS4 for about £140 if you discount all the games, prices, which is ridiculous. That's $200, I'd say. $200 for a PS4.
To be honest, this isn't the first. I keep hearing about glitches. Like, wasn't it the last one on Amazon too?
Yeah, Amazon as well.
I keep hearing about glitches on it. I should shop at Amazon more, man. I keep hearing about these glitches.
But yeah, so
when I don't have adoring fans to buy me things, I'll just go to Amazon and get discounts.
Yeah.
Well, I always get discounts at my local game store anyway. I always get manager's discount, even though I'm not manager there. But
you have how many connections does this man have? This man just knows everybody, and everybody loves Ben.
Probably has striking good looks.
I wish. Striking, maybe. Good, no. Over, yes. I'm against him. Get him away. Get away.
He's obsessed with Goat Simulator. Oh no.
He's blinding me.
I just played that game for the first time.
Oh god.
It's amazing.
What the hell?
Queen, there's a bread simulator.
Do you know it's coming to PS4?
What? Bread simulator?
Bread simulator or goat simulator?
Bread simulator.
Why?
It is coming to the PS4 in summer 2015.
Why?
Why not? It's called I Am Bread, and it is one of the best games ever made, and the trailer is one of the best trailers ever made.
Can you eat it?
No, you are the bread, and you
are the bread.
Your mission is to become toast or something like that.
Yeah, your mission is to become toast.
So there's an actual point to this one, whereas Goat Simulator, I was just running around, and I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, your job in I Am Bread is to get from one side of the kitchen or one side of the room to the other and find somewhere that will be able to toast you.
That sounds dirty.
Well, that's the issue as well. If you fall on the floor, you'll get dirty. So.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Anyway, it's coming out on PS4, so.
You know what?
I recommend everyone to go watch the trailer because the trailer is based off Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh.
No way.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to go watch the trailer.
Yeah, the intro song is pretty much a reworded version of the intro for Fresh Prince.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Interested, Queen?
I am, and I'm going to play it out of the sheer ridiculousness of it. That's not going to be enough to, tell me no. I'm going to go play that game.
You must
Also-
become bread.
Also, who knows if it'll include the Star Wars version of Iron Bread, where you play as a piece of bread in space in a TIE fighter shooting.
Oh my god.
I can't. I don't know what to say. I can't.
I do. It's a trend. I'm sure a trend in gaming where we're gonna play a bunch of games that don't necessarily have a point.
What did that soda drinking game ever come out for Xbox?
I don't know.
There was like a soda simulator where the whole point was to drink soda, and it looked absolutely terrible. Like not just the game, but the graphics of it just looked unbearably bad.
Oh.
There are all these simulators coming out. What's
Well,
that?
you
We're
got
gonna have a box. I'm surprised we don't have a cat simulator. Let me be clear about that.
There is like a cat simulator out there already on PC.
Really?
Yeah, you play as a cat and you got break stuff in the owner's house while you're away.
Oh my god, it's exactly everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I was watching a mate stream it once. I can't remember what it's called now. I'll have to ask him. He's the guy I was watching was Craigham's, the one of the people who does stuff for able gamers, which is a charity that helps people with disabilities play video games. Quick plug there.
I'm interested in this cat simulator now.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because when I was little, my dad bought me a joystick, and I used to play Flight Simulator all the time. And I liked playing Flight Simulator because you got to fly a plane, and I never could figure out, like, I'd land the plane and I'd be like, oh, well, now what? I don't know what to do anymore. So I guess I didn't understand what the simulator game thing was all about, but there's a little nostalgia in that. I liked it. So, I mean, all of these new simulators coming out, I don't know what to do with them.
I found it. I remember the name of it now. I can't believe I didn't forget it. I forgot it. It's one of the best names ever. Collateral damage.
Okay.
That's cute!
Let's see. The premier first-person destructive cat simulator. Play as a cooped-up house cat and knock stuff onto the floor. Hey, I mean, let's be honest. Just knocking stuff out onto the floor, that sounds like a fun game. I mean, you've got games where you slice swords through fruit for no reason. I mean, destroying stuff in games is fun, right? So, cat lateral damage, where you get to play as a cat on a rampage.
That is so cute.
I have no clue how to segue this, so I'm just gonna go straight. Pokemon is in the rumor mill for E3 2015, the rumor being that we will finally have a Pokemon game outside of the 3DS, outside of the handheld. The rumors for Pokemon for Wii U, people close to Nintendo say they have, quote, located a complete summary of the Nintendo Direct to air on June 16, which possibly leaks Star Fox, Pokemon, and 2 new franchises for Wii U.
Oh.
Now, back before we were for gamers only, we were RDGH, which Queen stands for Racial Diversity Gaming Hour. I will explain later.
That's hilarious.
And when we were on there, we said a few times, it would be awesome to get Pokemon off of just the 3DS. It would be awesome to get like a Pokemon MMO. Do you know how much money Nintendo could make off of a genuine Pokemon MMO?
I would probably be homeless and develop a crack addiction.
Exactly.
I would not have a house anymore.
If they did an MMO and they did it right, Nintendo would make bank like nobody's business.
Now, it would have to be balanced. Yeah, the fighting aspect of it would have to be extremely balanced. I don't want to get out here and fight a 5-year-old kid and get my ass whooped.
Right,
you know?
Because they have like a level 175 whatever.
Yeah.
So they'd have to be careful. They'd have to execute it the right way, especially because it would be something very if they ever announce the MMO, the internet will explode.
Can I pitch my idea on how it would work?
No.
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh.
are.
Go ahead.
Basically have a standard Pokemon RPG but online. Basically have the NPCs like you would normally battle. But have certain PvP areas where if you got knocked out, you only get knocked out to the back at the start of that PvP area. So say you'd have your usual map, you have all your trainers like usual that are computer controlled. And then you go to certain areas if you want to do player versus player instead of always player versus player.
Okay.
That way you still got your single player Pokemon experience, but you've also got your multiplayer. And what would be good would be have like 2 separate gym leagues. So you got your standard gym league, and then you got like a player versus player gym league.
Well, to be honest, that sounds a lot like it is now, because in the current Pokemon games, it's mostly a single-player experience. And then there's always a multiplayer experience where you can meet other players across the internet and battle them. So that kind of feels pretty much like what you described.
Yeah, pretty much. But just have it so that you can actually see the player characters.
Right.
Instead of just...
Instead of an above view, you'd have like a third-person view or something like that. But, I mean, if it were an MMO where there were trainers all around you that you can choose to battle, I think that would be, personally, I think that would be my favorite version of a possible Pokemon MMO or a Pokemon RPG, because Pokemon's already an RPG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, to have it as an MMO, I think we need to have that community of people all around you that you can talk to immediately. And, I mean, I think it would be a good idea to have some single-player experiences, some single-player dungeons, single-player gyms, whatever. But I think it should be more focused on the multiplayer side and less focused on the single-player side.
What do I want to say? I think the Pokemon franchise is big enough where it can graduate now from handheld gaming. I would like to see it graduate from handheld gaming. I know it's not Nintendo style, but I would love to see it move on to like Xbox or PlayStation and get really, really big. I think we're ready for that. At the same time, I'm with you guys. If there's going to be an MMO, I would like to see. We're getting very multiplayer oriented lately, and I still need things for the single player because I'm on the go. I have a lot of stuff to do. I still need to play by myself from time to time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, to be completely dependent upon multiplayer, I think could be a blessing and a curse. But, I mean, to have that area where you can just kind of do your own thing. I mean, you can do that in MMOs now. I mean, playing Guild Wars, I love Guild Wars 2, by the way. If you guys didn't know, I love Guild Wars 2.
I miss Guild Wars so much.
Did you play 2?
I played the first one and I was addicted to it, but I never got around to 2.
You should get 2, because there's no subscription fee.
I know. That's why I liked it.
So you can play Guild Wars 2, you can just buy the game, and you've got it forever. I've taken breaks, I've come back, I've taken breaks, I've come back, and I've never had to worry about that, which is why I'm so hesitant to play games like Final Fantasy XIV, because I don't want to get back into subscriptions again.
See, I don't mind subscriptions, to be honest.
What's that?
I say I don't mind subscriptions in my games, especially with games like Final Fantasy, where they've proven to have a lot of extra content. I mean, their patches are massive.
It's just that I think everything's going... I mean... Think of all the different subscription services. We've got Hulu, Netflix.
Doesn't exist here. Netflix we have.
Crunchyroll.
We have that.
HBO has something. WWE has something.
We don't have that.
Everybody, Dropbox, not even TV, just Dropbox has stuff. Like, everyone's doing this. PlayStation Now, that's another one. Everyone's doing this
we
subscription.
don't have that yet.
Everyone's doing this subscription thing. And so, I just don't... It looks like it's cheap. It's like, oh, this is $9.99 a month. Totally doable. But then when you subscribe to like 7 different services, that's $70 a month, Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the whole thing with subscriptions has the potential to run away from you, and I just haven't felt... I used to play Ion back when it was subscription based. I was a guild leader, a legion leader in Ion. And my Legion turned on me for some reason, and I just haven't played it since. But I spent I played for like a year and a half maybe, and I spent hundreds of dollars just on subscriptions. I just don't feel like getting into that again. I just
when
don't.
When money's involved, pardon me, I notice when money's involved in games, uh, people will take it a lot more seriously. There are these people who are, I don't know. I think it does something when there's a subscription base. I think it does something to the people who play it. Whereas Guild Wars, we just focused on having like a great time. I found more friends to BS with and play it at our leisure. But then when I was a part of a guild, I was part of a guild in City of Heroes, City of Villains, and they just everything was way too serious.
I think it's actually a reverse effect there. I think it's not, you know, I've invested money in this, so I'm serious. I think it's, you know, a game like that, a subscription-based game, has a way of weeding out the people who are not serious. Because, I mean, if you are just kind of mildly interested, honestly, are you going to stick around and pay $15 a month for a long time? Probably not. Like, if you're really invested in it, though, if you're really into the game, if you're serious about the game, then yeah, I mean, every month you're going to have your $15 ready. So,
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I think in a way it just has a way of weeding out the people that are not serious, and the people that are not serious go and play something else. By the way, just out of curiosity, have you played League of Legends?
Oh God, no. When that was getting hot, I was dating this idiot.
Oh.
And he got into it, and I was like, wow, that's a turnoff, because he let it consume his life. Like, I mean, I'm one to judge. I let City of Heroes consume my life at one point. But just watching him do it, I was like, I'm just not going to touch that game for a while. Plus, I have a tendency to get overexposed. If I'm around too many people who are talking about something,
sure, it
kills it for me. So League of Legends, I did not touch.
I think you'd enjoy League of Legends. The people there who play the game are total bastards. But that said, the game itself is a whole lot of fun. You do have to be careful not to let it consume you. But I think it's special in that it's a multiplayer online battle arena. It's a MOBA game. And so instead of just one big, long, continuous game like an MMO, you get games that are maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes long, and they're individual games. So I think everyone might react a little bit differently to that sort of game as opposed to a continuous MMO. But because the games are individual and segmented, maybe, I don't know, maybe the addiction might be a little less, or maybe it might be more. I don't know. It just depends on how you approach gaming.
Yeah, it really depends. And then there's do I have time to sit and play it? There's that too.
Yes, because it ticks people off when you go in for a ranked game and 20 minutes in, surprise, I gotta go. Y'all are on your own.
The dog's barking, whatever the hell.
No, not the dog's barking. No, like I have a doctor's appointment, or I have to go meet my girlfriend, or, you know, things that are like, well, why did you start a game that you know will take half an hour to 45 minutes if you have to go in 20 minutes?
Yeah, idiot.
People are dumb. But League of Legends, it's a fun game. If you got a chance to play it, I think you'll like it.
Cool.
Ben once again has been silent. We've lost him.
Yeah, I've been silent.
He needs a goat to find his way home. Once again, guys, E3 is right around the corner. Xbox One is getting a small update today. According to Mr. Larry Herb Major Nelson, on Twitter, he said there's a small update to, quote, prepare for the future, which makes me happy because the first reply on this Twitter feed is, quote, my Xbox is ready. So, my
body is ready.
Yes. And Microsoft's, I think, I'm definitely looking forward to PlayStation's press conference. I think Microsoft's press conference is the one I'm looking forward to most, because Microsoft back in 2003, I don't know what they were on, but it screwed them big time. I don't know whatever the guy's name, Don Matrick, by the way, he left Zynga, if you didn't know that. He was the CEO of Zynga after he left Xbox back in 2013.
Yeah, I remember that.
He has left Zynga, and now one of the founders of Zynga is taking his place again. So I don't know what that's about. The guy's playing hot potato with his career, and after what happened with Microsoft, I'm not sure who wants him. But oh, I will say that he was like the highest paid CEO in Silicon Valley or something to that effect. I don't know why the guy was making so much money from a company like Zynga. I mean, nothing wrong with Zynga, but Zynga is no Apple or no Google, you know what I mean? So, I don't know what that's about. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Xbox One, I'm looking forward to Microsoft's press conference the most because, now Phil Spencer's in charge, and this guy has been the antidote for Don Matrick as far as Xbox One is concerned.
Yeah, I was surprised that he was even able to salvage the Xbox One after that fiasco.
He was, and the Xbox One, a lot of people are like, oh, Xbox One is doing bad. Well, it's not. It's not doing as good as PlayStation 4, but the sales for Xbox One right now are significantly higher than those of the Xbox 360 at its same age in its generation, which is significant because at this time, the Xbox One was miles ahead of the PS3. So that speaks to the strength of the video game industry as a whole, and the strength of the Xbox One. Xbox One's doing okay. It's not doing as good as PS4, no, but it's not in danger. So I'm looking forward to this because last year they decided, hey, this is what went wrong with 2013. So let's focus on games. Games. Kinect, I don't think was mentioned once, which is going to need to be a must for 2015. But I'm looking forward to this because they're saying it's like the best Xbox lineup ever. There's going to be new franchises. They're really playing this up, and you know, there's a thing in the gaming world called hype. And there's always the worry of whether the product lives up to the hype. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see Microsoft's promise to bring it, and I'm ready to sit there and see what they've brought.
How do I feel about this? I mean, I was really scarred from that tragedy that happened at E3. Was it 2 years ago? Yeah, because last year they made up for it.
2013.
2013, you know, I was a gung-ho Xbox girl all the way. You know, I've been with 360 since the day it dropped. I stuck with them through their initial fiasco. But this was just not one I could get behind. One of my parents used to do a lot of computer work. So I've always grown up testing and pushing the limits of hardware. And the first thing I thought when they were like, oh, you know, it has to have a camera, I was like, you guys are losing your effing minds. No way. I'm not going to play with that because I know there's a-holes on the internet who are going to hack it. Lo and behold, that happened the first couple of months.
Yep.
So that was one of my initial problems. And of course, the having to check in every 24 hours or else you have a brick. Wow, that's insulting, guys. I'm the one who paid $500 and you're going to take it away from me? Wow. So all those problems aside, I'm very happy for Xbox. I'm very happy that they've made a comeback. Last year, I had a lot more faith in them. And so therefore this year, that brings me into this year, I am ready to see it. I'm ready to see what else they can bring now that they've kind of saved face a little. I'm ready to see them grow up. And what are they going to bring this year? Is it going to be more games? Or like you said, are we going to talk a little bit more about what we're doing with the hardware?
Well, I will say that as far as PlayStation is concerned, I grew up with PlayStation. I've got all my PlayStations except for my PlayStation Portable, my PSP. I have a PS2, PS3, PS4, and PS Vita in this room that I'm sitting in somewhere. And so I've been with PlayStation a long time. This Xbox One is my first Xbox ever. And let me just say that I'm enjoying it. Phil Spencer is doing a great job. The feeling with the Xbox is really community-based. And it's a fantastic... To be honest, the fact that it's hooked up to my TV, I think, was their scam because my Xbox runs more than my PlayStation does because whenever I'm watching TV, I'm watching it through my Xbox.
Okay.
But that said, I also play my Xbox a lot because... I love the way the achievements are set up. I love the way the community feels. I love the customer service. The customer service, let me be very clear, has outclassed PlayStation in a big way. It feels a lot more professional to talk to Microsoft. It feels a lot more like they give a crap about what you're dealing with. I had a controller issue. I have the white Xbox One. And my controller, the button was sticking, so I contacted support and I asked them for another controller. The white Xbox One is a limited edition console. They do not sell them normally. And so they did not have any white controllers to spare. And I said, oh, that's a bummer because I like my white controller. And he said, oh, wait a minute. And he let me sit there for a little bit. And he came back and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't give you a white controller. We just don't have any to give you. But I'm going to give you a black controller. Don't bother sending me your white controller back. You keep that. And we're going to send you this black controller for free. That's customer service. And I was impressed. I was impressed. Dealing with Microsoft feels good. Dealing with PlayStation feels like, you're dealing with that bank where you're transferred to someone over in India. That's kind of what it feels like dealing with PlayStation's customer service. It feels more like a better community over on the Xbox One, I will say that. That said, I love PlayStation's controller better. I still am a fan of PlayStation's exclusive franchises. I am dying to get my hands on Ratchet and Clank, and I am bummed that is delayed. But I still love PlayStation, but there are some really good things that Xbox is doing right now that shouldn't be overlooked. It's a good system. It really is. And it's not doing as well as the PlayStation 4, but I can't help but wonder if Phil Spencer was in charge at the time, and if they had the attitude that they do now instead of the arrogance that they had back in 2013, I can't help but wonder whether the roles would still be the way they are right now.
I was amazed that they were able to pinpoint all their problems on one man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it can't just be one man.
Yeah.
The company as a whole had an attitude problem. Let's put it that way.
That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Yes, but Don Matrick did no favors when he came out and was like, we have a device for those who can't get online. It's called the Xbox 360. That was a big middle finger to gamers who were concerned, not to gamers, to customers, to people that he was asking for money. That was a big middle finger to those people. He did them no favors. He did them no favors at all. But whether or not the company as a whole, I mean, what if Phil Spencer was there and the company was still arrogant as balls? Well, who knows? We might have still had the same thing. You don't know.
All I'm going to say is name, I guess it's Microsoft's second console, but really name a third console that doesn't have this issue. Actually, yeah, it's Microsoft's third console, isn't it? Because you had the Xbox 360.
Yeah, it's actually the Xbox 3.
Yeah, I was getting confused for a second there. Name a third console that doesn't have that issue. Okay, I can give you a little history. Master System, Sega's first console, did very well. Sega Mega Drive, or as you'd call it, Genesis, did very well. Sega Saturn, bombed because they priced it too high. It was rubbish. Its specs were rubbish. It was really good for 2D, but rubbish for 3D. With the PlayStation being released, that was really good for 3D. Okay, then you got your Nintendo NES, Nintendo Super Nintendo.
Right.
Oh, look, the Nintendo 64, which bombed because the fact that Nintendo refused to go to CD drives, stick with cartridges, which made third-party support really difficult for people that were making PlayStation games because that was cheaper and easier to make.
Right.
Okay, so then you got your PlayStation 2, two successful systems, and then you got your PlayStation 3, which is still successful compared to the older systems, but compared to PS2 and PS1, it also had issues because of how expensive it was, how hard it was to program for.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? This every third system. And look, this the Xbox One, third system.
The problem, I think, is just that the company starts getting cocky. They stuff a sock down their pants and they walk around like they're all that. And it's like, I didn't think that I'd use that. That just popped into my head. So, I mean, it's interesting because on a little bit before, I think episode 10, I was alone for that episode, and I was talking about Nintendo and how they're starting to get a little bit arrogant. I can see in their decisions and what they're doing. The Wii U has not done great. Let's be clear. The Wii U has not done great. It is just starting to find its ground now. And meanwhile, Nintendo, I think maybe because it feels great about the franchises it owns, maybe the properties that it has, it's starting to feel like Nintendo's starting to get too much swagger, And it's interesting because this is the third Wii that's coming up here.
There you go. See?
So, maybe 3 is the curse. Maybe that's why Valve can't count to 3.
Ooh,
Maybe
shots
that's
fired.
maybe they're trying to avoid the curse. Who knows? But third console, you have a point, Ben. Third console seems to be that crux that just shows up at the right moment and just takes you down to your gives you a nice slice of humble pie to digest.
Yeah, the first one, you're testing things out. The second one, you've got it under control. And then it's the third one, it's like, all right, let's get real ambitious. And you're like, whoa.
Let's do this. Grab the sock. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, guys. We can't go wrong. They're nerds. They're going to give us their money. And I'm like, whoa.
That's exactly what Microsoft did. They said something to the effect of, they'll buy whatever we put out there.
Yeah, dude. You gotta watch that.
They also said, well, if you don't have internet access, you know what we also have? We have an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
They sure did. And I was like, wow, because people brought up a really good point. We have a lot of troops overseas that, we send them game systems because, they deserve to have a little leisure time.
Sure.
The internet out there, when we send them out there, it's not good. And they lose internet for days.
Yeah.
And so you're telling me I got to send our troops a brick?
But at the same time, let's be honest. At the same time, I want to know how many people who said that actually cared. That's what I want to know, because I feel like a lot of people used that against the Xbox One just because it was something against the Xbox One and not necessarily because it was a real concern for them. Yes, it's a valid concern. We do not want to neglect the troops. But are you saying this just because, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying just in general, are you saying this because you truly care that the troops, were sending them a brick, they don't have anything to play, or are you just trying to find more ways to put this console down just because it's in the green brand?
I think it further proves a separate point because whenever they introduce these things, I try to put myself in the shoes of somebody who is purchasing said Xbox One, right? So, American internet, y'all ain't perfect yet. I have lost internet for days in my own home. So it's not necessarily about the troops. It could be like, we live in Florida, right?
Right.
We get hurricanes. We lose internet. We lose water. We lose any one of these utilities for an extended period of time. I could easily be sitting on a brick myself. Not just the troops. I too could be victim to that.
Mm-hmm.
At any given day, I've had internet problems. In my old house, there were wires hanging, and there always had to be somebody out there every other week trying to fix it. I don't know what they're doing, but I would lose internet for days at a time. So you're telling me I have to be stuck in my home with my brick of a system that I could be playing, but you guys instated this rule that, hey, if you can't check in every once in a while, guess what? You can't play.
Although I do wonder, it's definitely a mistake to brick it if you can't reach the internet. But to be honest, a lot of games right now, despite the fact that they are not dependent upon the internet, they're still dependent upon the internet. It's like, a lot of them, it's like the biggest parts of the game require internet access. The ones that you really want to get to require internet access, so you can still play your games. And that's why it's a problem to brick the console, because there are games that don't require internet access. Ori and the Blind Forest, fantastic game. Sunset Overdrive, another fantastic game. Those are 2 of them. So you don't have to play a game that's tied to the internet. But it is kind of telling that we have so many games now that are.
Cough, cough, Destiny.
Right. Destiny could have been good except for Activision.
I think, I was on the Destiny hype train from day one. I was like, guys, it's going to be the next. It was like the second coming. I was like, guys, Jesus is coming. It's called Destiny. Prepare yourselves. And so, my husband, he ran out. He got it. He was like, here you go. It's Destiny. I love you. And I was like, I love you too. Sit down and play it. As soon as you hit what was it, level 30 or 20 or something? There's one of the levels you hit. You just can't play it anymore unless it's with other people. So it's like, thanks that it's an online only game, but now I'm being forced to play with people I don't like either. And I'm a girl, so there's no getting on the microphone for me.
Right.
There's none of that. Just, it's out of the question. Could we stop depending on the internet so much? Is what I'm trying to say. That's my point. Can we stop? Because I would really like to play or complete missions without being forced to play with other people.
If you're hearing a little rustling sound, I apologize. I have some bags from Walmart on my bed, and one of my cats decided that now was a great time to investigate what was inside them. So
I can hear it.
That's what that is. Hey, buddy. I know. Okay. I hate to do this because I'm actually having a lot of fun right now, but we're going to have to wrap this up very soon. But before we do, I really want to hear about E3 Bingo.
Okay. So, E3 Bingo was I found it in a gaming magazine a couple years ago. I'm sorry, fans. I don't remember what gaming magazine it was. Shame on me. It was probably Game Informer. I don't remember. A couple years ago. And then they started doing it every year. And basically what it is, they have a couple of really funny things to look for during E3. And if you give me just a moment, I will pull up one of the older cards. I got a 2014 one, 15 one currently. But there is a 2014 one that was absolutely hilarious. And it just, bear with me for like 10 seconds. You can edit this part out.
If that's the one
there we go.
You told me about before, then it's worth the wait.
So I'm going to tell you one of the previous years when I pulled up E3 Bingo 2014 scorecard. And it was published in Game Informer. There we go. And so for those of you who had it. So some of the examples that are on it are wait for applause that doesn't come. Xbox One doing great, Graph says. Poorly timed, woo! The free space, which cracks me up every time. The free space in the middle is whole family enjoys something. When they get up there and say that, I just want to punch them. Miyamoto gets hugged.
Yes, he always seems to get hugged, doesn't he?
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't want to hug Miyamoto?
I'd want to give him a hug.
Right?
He's amazing.
See? I wonder what he smells like just a little bit. I know, that's weird. The Last Guardian goes to PS4 and Netflix logo appears.
Yes.
And so I've taken it a step further and I just go ahead and do shots whenever one of the ones pops up. So do you want me to reveal what's on one of the 2015 ones I found, or you want to
go for
save
it?
it? So I found a 2015 one. Now this won't be published in Game Informer. This is just a fan-made one because I think the fan-made ones are hilarious too. So we have PS4 price drop. Star Fox gets announced.
Mm-hmm.
Another goddamn Killzone. Here's a great one. Professional athlete struggles to play video games.
Yes. Every time. Every time. Oh my goodness.
Presenter makes a Gamergate joke.
Sure, of course.
Of course, that's coming a mile away. Sony debuts new IP to polite applause.
To polite applause.
Live demo crashes on stage.
Uh-huh. When was the last time we saw that? Was
Assassin's Creed did
Assassin's
that,
Creed.
Yes. Oh god, I was so
no. Later than that was Uncharted 4, wasn't it?
Uncharted 4. Well, I haven't seen. No, they did do an Uncharted 4 demo. I didn't see it. Did it crash?
Oh yeah, Drake was in a shootout and he just fell through the graphics.
He fell through the graphics.
Yeah, he was trying to jump over a ledge and just fell through the floor.
Oh, that's great.
And this one is amazing. There's a fucking car on the stage.
Of course there is.
Of course.
Of course there is.
We topped that before. Eurogamer, about 3 or 4 years ago, they had a tank outside.
Read the one on the top left.
At the very top left, Konami announces literally nothing. Literally nothing. Isn't Konami going under? Is something going on with them?
They dropped console and they went to mobile only.
Shh. They're making a new Yu-Gi-Oh game for PS4 and Xbox One.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess they haven't dropped console.
Is it time for that?
I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh, I mean, I think the time for Yu-Gi-Oh was years ago, frankly.
Well, they own it, so...
Yeah, well, you never know. Speaking
of
which, when the hell is Activision going to do something? Like, they have all these they have Crash Bandicoot. What do they have? Spyro 2, I think? I mean, Do they have Spyro? Activision?
Yeah, because didn't Spyro turn into Skylanders because they made a weird mutant Spyro for that?
They
Yes, they
do
did.
squat with these amazing franchises they have. They could be making money. You know how much people would pay for a Crash Bandicoot game on PS4 and Xbox One and Wii U? People would pay out the nose. And yet they do squat with these franchises.
It's like, whatchamacallit, Konami own Hudson as well.
Mm-hmm.
They own all their franchises as well, which is a ridiculous amount. Like Bomberman.
Oh man! Oh, and the center. Can we do the center one last?
Yeah, we'll reveal the center one last. I'm probably not going to read all of them, but just a couple.
I
of the
don't even know where these are.
Oh, I sent it. You didn't see it? I sent it.
Yeah, it's on Skype.
Thing. It's on Skype. Check it.
There's nothing in the group call for me.
What in the world?
Well, Ben's not in the club, so
Ben's
he
not in the
can't.
club right now.
He doesn't have access.
Yeah, you're in there. It says he's in there.
He's there. I don't know what he's
It's
talking
the
about.
last message on Earth is that.
It's
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I thought it was an actual link. Didn't know it was just an image.
Skype's doing these picture things now in the chat. So
If you really want to get drunk, if you're playing by QueenQ's rules, footage of people being motion captured. Wow. Have a shot every time that happens. You're going to be on the floor.
Queen, I think you should make your own E3 bingo.
Oh, man. I feel like I'm not super creative enough for it, but I could try.
I think especially between all of us, we could come up with a pretty good one.
How many do you need? Like, B-I-N...
What is this? This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 squares.
Okay, so 25 squares. All you gotta do is, you know what? Hit Twitter, accept tweets, and get to rubbing those brain cells together and come up with some funny stuff. Casual slur rape joke during presentation. That's bound to happen to piss somebody off.
Especially in Ubisoft's presentation. I wish they would be a little more professional in their presentation.
I can see Ubisoft announcing a game where you have to unlock radio towers / climb buildings to open up the map to do side quests. every Ubisoft game.
Oh no.
And then you have to track people because reasons.
Because reasons. Watch Dogs sequel. Ooh.
What
I'd take that one lightly because first Watch Dogs was a big freaking disappointment.
Yeah. Can I just say something?
It's still Ubisoft.
About Watch Dogs. I know and I'm a girl, so I'm probably gonna get ragged on for this. There's a big feminist controversy about there being sex slaves in the game. I don't know about you, but from one of the first trailers, I caught on to that way before it blew up, and I was like, okay, well, cool, whatever, because the bald chick in the game looks a lot like myself, a bald African-American female, and we look the same, and I was like, that's cool, and then I wanted to cosplay her, and there's a little tattoo on the back of her neck, and I was like, oh, I get it. She's a slave. I get it.
Well, let's put it back this way. This is a very PC society. And I think it's a transition. We're going from a place of not acceptance to a place of acceptance. And I feel like the PC thing that we're doing is kind of a step to get there. But at the same time, it's like, you know how, like with race, like with white and black and all that stuff. And, you know, for a lot of things, not all of them, there are a lot of black people who, you know, oh, that's racist.
Oh, yeah.
But for the most part, they don't really get offended by a lot of things that a lot of white people think they get offended for. It's like, oh no, don't call him black. You know, he'll get. I've had that. I've been like, oh, you know, no offense, but you're black. You know. I'm like, well, you know, I didn't know that. I wish you would have told me sooner that I was black, because I apparently that's something I should be like. Everyone kind of tiptoes, and I think that's what it is here. Like, I think there are definitely some, like Anita Sarkeesian, for example. I think Anita Sarkeesian takes things too far. At the same time, I think there is some truth in what she says.
Yeah.
It's important to be mindful of the way women are presented in video games. That said, when you're looking at the world and you're recreating what the world does, why would you tone it down? Well, I mean, especially if you're in a mature game, why tone it down? I'm not saying go out there and, let's all go and abuse women. Yay!
Right.
No, I'm saying this is something that is an accurate representation of something that goes on in the world. And the fact that it's in a video game doesn't make it any better or worse in the real world. It's just a video game representation of something that really happens every single day. It's not condoning it. It's not condemning it. It's just representing that it's there. So I think that a lot of the time the fuss shouldn't really happen. I think a lot of the time people worry too much about the wrong thing, and by doing so, they tend to take away from what the story actually is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you look at Assassin's Creed and the way the pirates treated the women there. They're pirates. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what pirates did. If you don't like it, get in your time machine and go back and rewrite history. That's how it was.
And sometimes some people say, oh, well, I mean, you're creating the game. Therefore, you have the power to put, to change it and put what you please in the game. And to me, I'm a firm believer in, how should I say, preserving the creative integrity. I can't tell them what to put in the game. I can't tell them what to change. They created it the way that they created it because that's how they created it. I'm not going to stand up and say, oh, cover her boobs or do this. That's how you wanted it. Fine. I will say this. We could use a couple more female role models. I mean, that would be cool. But don't change your game because I said that.
Yeah, I think when you say something like we could use more female role models in games,
yeah,
I think that means instead of just trying to chuck female role models in just to have female role models in the game, I'd like to see a game with a good female character, I'd like to see a game with a good female lead character, like Tomb Raider, for example. Everyone kind of takes Lara Croft and makes her a sex object in a way, but also, she is a very strong character. She's the lead character in the game, the main protagonist, and she handles her business.
And yet, no one complains when I take Chris Redfield from Resident Evil 3 and turn him into a sex object. Nobody's down my throat.
No, I mean, it's just kind of a function of society.
It is. But I have weird views.
Meanwhile, Ben is all silent.
That would have been way too easy to make the Joker.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to wrap this up.
I know, with our wacky tangents.
Tune in next week for episode 14. Let's get through. I'm forgetting my brain is just all over the place today. I had an interesting day at work and I am just all over the place.
I think E3 next week? You guys ready to talk about
week.
Yeah.
E3 is next week, and you definitely want to tune in. Once again, we're doing... I'm still not sure quite yet how we're going to lay it out, if we're going to just do a special episode directly after E3, or we're just going to do our reactions on the following episode. I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. But tune in. We're going to have the predictions, then we're going to have the reactions, and it is going to be a blast. So check that out. Guys, you can contact us on Twitter at 4GOnly, number 4, letter GONLY. Send us your tweets. We will read them on the air. Or you can email us at 4gocast@gmail.com if Twitter is not your thing. You can support us on our Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's kind of like Kickstarter, except unlike Kickstarter, it's not for big projects that require one big lump sum of funding. It's for smaller ongoing projects. So you can donate something like $1 per episode, which would amount to about $4 per month. And we're going to do our stretch goals. We're going to do our milestones. I'm going to design a t-shirt. That's going to be a blast. So check out Patreon. You can donate whatever you want, cancel anytime. If Patreon's not your thing, we have a PayPal, which is our general email address, 4gocast@gmail.com. Guys, we're also everywhere. We are on iTunes. We are on Stitcher. We are now on TuneIn Radio. That just happened. We are on TuneIn Radio. Check us out at tunein.com. We are on Podbean. We have an RSS feed so we can be on your favorite podcast app. We're everywhere. So send us links to your reviews. Leave us reviews. We love reviews. We need reviews, especially on Stitcher. So send us reviews. We'll read your reviews on the air, whether they're positive or negative. That is a promise. And so just check us out. Share us with your friends. We like being shared. So check us out on all those. We still want to be on SoundCloud, but we need a little bit of funding first because SoundCloud costs like $15 a month, something like that. I mean, seriously, they give you something like a few hundred megabytes for the life of your account if you don't pay the $15 a month. And judging by the fact that that's like 2 episodes of 4GO, I mean, that's just not going to happen. Guys, our music this week, the intro is called M-Core Rising. It's from Titanfall for the Xbox One and the PC. Just came out last year. This is the first song on Overclocked Remix that I have seen for the new generation. I'm sure there are others, but I just am not an observant person sometimes. The remix is by Dusk. We have used his music on RDGH before. He did the Sunny Glade thing from Guild Wars 2. We might use that again soon. You're hearing that song in the background right now. It is an awesome rock song. It's a wrong song. It's a rock song, and you are going to enjoy it. Or you're enjoying it right now, I should say. The outro was chosen by QueenQ, who I actually almost called Queen B for some reason. QueenQ chose this song. I'm sorry, Queen. She chose this song. It's from Streets of Rage 2 from the Genesis in 1992. It's called Go Back, and it's a remix of Go Straight from Streets of Rage 2. Remix is done by Lazy Gecko. Hi, Kitty. My cat's distracting me. And it is available right now on OC Remix. You're going to hear that very shortly, and you are going to hear the whole thing, and you are going to love it, because that's how this works. Guys, if you want to hear these and many more amazing video game remixes in full for free, hear them, download them, save them, share them, all legal, head to ocremix.org, ocremix.org. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, gamers of all ages, we are done with 4 Gamers Only, episode 14. Episode 15 drops next week. Until then, stay safe, game hard, and lots of love from...
Forsaken Goats Online. Need to think of some more.
AKA 4GO.